Another great day for another great cup of coffee. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, patriots and friends. This is Mike Cook coming to you live from Central Missouri. It is approximately 8:02, 11/9/2020, the year the conspiracy theory became reality. And here we are. We're almost 7 days, or 6 days, counting, past the election. And we still haven't decided on who's going to win. But before I get into the meat of what's going to happen today, is going to be a fun day if you're like me. Might be a little scary, might be a little rocky. Expect twists and turns. Don't expect if you're a Trump fan, don't expect the Biden people just to lay down. They're coming after him in full force, and there's a reason for that. So let me get to it. Let me talk about something first, what's on my mind real quick. I just want to, this weekend has been an outpouring to me. That lots of people have reached out and contacted me and talked to me that some of my videos last week affected them, helped them, lifted their spirits. And I'm humbled and glad that I can be helpful like that. And I hope that most of my videos are positive, not negative. However, there's been a couple folks that had to join the block party. They got on there and they started trashing me and calling me names and all this stuff. And I'm okay with that. You call me whatever you want to call me. You want to go on my lives and comment on there and disparage me and call me names, call me snowflake, call me a Trumpster, call me an idiot, call me a moron. Fine. I'm sure, you're college educated. You got all your cum laudes. I graduated. Thank the Lordy. It's okay. It's not a problem. But let me tell you something right now. But if you want to enter into a debate with me, you've got to be somebody of substance. When I go to your Facebook page or your Parler page or your MeWe page or your Rumble account or your YouTube account, and I look at who you are or who you portray yourself to be, and the only thing on your page is retweets and reposts and videos of other people talking, but not you, and none of your stuff is original, conversation over, goodbye, join the block party, you're out of here, I'm not interested in you. But on the other hand, if you don't like what I'm saying, I'm inviting and putting an open invitation right now. I'm able to do split screen with my videos. I'll send you a link, we'll go live and we'll debate. But I'm going to check you out. If you're not putting original content out like I am, go to my Facebook page. 90% of what I post is original from me. When you see a meme, you look at a meme on my page and you look down in the bottom corner right down there, usually is a little blue mark says MC. That's my watermark. I made that meme. And so my stuff is mine from my own brain. So if you want to debate me with your memes that other people made and your Facebook posts that other people made, I ain't going to do it. Just wanted to throw that out there real quick. I get off that. I can go on that for a while. But anyways, if you want to come at me, but make sure you are somebody of substance, because I ain't going to talk, I ain't going to debate, argue, or with somebody who can't even think for themselves. Anyways, everything that I do is mine. Actually, that's not entirely true. I steal every thought I have, I've stolen, but at least I mull them around in my mind and make it come out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, here's what I want to talk about today. What's happening? What's going on? It's going to be an interesting day. Expect high-ranking Republicans to come out and admonish Mr. Trump. Tell him to give it up. It's over. We're done. And why is that? We're gonna talk about that right now. We're gonna talk about what's been going on. So I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of stuff. Friends of mine in high places have been sending me some information. I kind of knew some of this stuff, but I didn't really have it where I can be concise and in a nutshell about it. So now check this out. I want you to understand what's been happening. So, under the Bush administration, there was this genius guy named Daniel Montgomery. Daniel Montgomery is one of them super geniuses. He's probably got triple my IQ. You know what I mean? And that's not really saying a lot, but he's one of them super. He's the guys that you read about. You know when you watch your thrillers or your spy shows on TV, there's always the guy in the back room on the computer that does everything and makes everything. He's the guy in Stargate Atlantis. You know, the cocky, arrogant guy, that the super genius, that guy. That's who Daniel Montgomery is. He invented a computer system and a software system called Hammer. Hammer was used extensively to take out our enemies during the war on terror. Under the Bush administration, it was highly successful. It was a counterintelligence operation, and it saved hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of Americans' lives overseas as we were fighting the war on terror. Now, we can debate whether or not we needed to do all that we did. That's another story. However, at the beginning, 2009, and this article that I got most of this information from came out over a year ago. Just no one wants to report on it. I wonder why that is. We'll find out in a minute. In the beginning, 2009, Obama became president. Now listen to these names. John Bremen and Jane Clapper took the Hammer program that was out on the West Coast, that was managed and operated by Daniel Montgomery's company, that was decompartmentalized from the government. You had to go through several steps to use it. You couldn't use it on American soil because that would be against the law. But Obama and Bremen and Clapper, boy, those names sound awfully familiar. Where have I heard those before? They took the Hammer program and they took it to Washington, D.C., just down from the White House, and they set it up and they started using it to spy on American people. Remember Donald Trump saying they're spying on me, and everybody laughed? You remember that? Do you remember that? Because I remember that. You remember that there was Wall Street Journal reporters and even NBC reporters who were being spied on under the Obama administration? I remember that. Do you remember Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio saying they were being spied on? Yeah, I remember that too. In this article, it goes on to talk about how the reason for Clapper, Bremen, and Obama to be using the software was to gain intelligence on American citizens in order to leverage it for blackmail and for use in campaign research. Kind of like a dirty dossier? Something about that. I'm ringing a bell there. So what happened? They used this very successfully all through the Obama administration against the law, mind you, 100%. They set up a shadow government using the Hammer system to spy on American citizens, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of American citizens. You remember when the Tea Party rose up and got crushed? Yeah, that was Hammer. I said it. You don't have to like it. Anyways, while this was going on, they feared that Daniel Montgomery would have a conscience and come forward and talk about it. They couldn't have that happen. So they started putting out in their sycophant media, in the media that, as we all know, will do exactly what they're told to do, repeating the mockingbird, repeating the same line, over and over again. Remember, under the Bush administration, gravitas. He doesn't have any gravitas. He needs gravitas. What the hell is that word? Where did it come from? Never heard it before. But gravitas, we have to have gravitas. And you can go to YouTube and you can find mantras of the same word, the same phrases being used over and over and over and over again. Anyways, so FBI Director Robert Mueller, boy, that name rings a bell. See, we got Obama, we got John Clapper, we got John Brennan, we got Robert Mueller. Boy, where have I heard all them names together before? I don't know. Can't think of it. Anyways, Robert Mueller took action against Montgomery, filed charges, leaked it out to the media, destroyed his reputation, destroyed his business, destroyed his career. Oh yeah, by this time he was working for Bremen and Clapper at this time. Anyways, so time goes on. Barack Obama gets 2 terms. Things happen, things change. Clapper, Bremen, and Obama and Mueller develop a software program. I'm sure they didn't. They had some other genius that we haven't got that guy's name yet. Developed another software program to use with Hammer, and it's called Scorecard. Scorecard is a magic, wonderful, benevolent software program. The way Scorecard works is during the primaries under Hillary Clinton, they were able to go into states like Georgia. You remember Bernie Sanders? You remember that guy? Whatever happened to him? I want to raise taxes on the millionaires and billionaires. Just the billionaires, because I am a millionaire. It got into Georgia. The campaign was hot and heavy. Hillary Clinton was behind. All of a sudden in Georgia, Hillary Clinton has a landslide win, creating momentum, carrying her to the nomination for the president. Woo! Yay, Hillary, the smartest woman on the planet. How'd that happen? We see Scorecard, using the hammer system, is able to go into voting software on these machines and flip votes. So when somebody went in and voted for Bernie Sanders, they thought they voted for Bernie Sanders. Their piece of paper says Bernie Sanders, but it just flipped the votes. It didn't flip all the votes. It flipped some over here, and it flipped some over there, and it flipped some back there, and it flipped some over here. It didn't flip them all, just enough. That's right. Barack Obama, John Brennan, Jane Clapper, Robert Mueller, and Hillary Clinton developed a software program used to cheat the hell out of elections. Now, mind you, at that same time, fast forward, it's now the campaign. And Donald Trump says that, number one, they're going to cheat. Number two, they're spying on me. Why? Because the NSA, some patriots in our government, came to Trump while he was campaigning and said, look, this is what's going on. They spilled the beans to him. Okay? And I want to mind you that while this was going on, Donald J. Trump saying they spied, they cheated, they lied. I want to remind you of something. I want you to hear something. So listen up close, because I want you to hear this. This is in 2016 by a man that you may have heard of. His name is Obama, or Barack Hussein Obama is his name. You might not recognize that name, but you might recognize his voice. So here you go.
Of course, the elections will not be rigged. What does that mean? The federal government doesn't run the election process.
No.
States and cities, communities all across the country, they're the ones who set up the voting systems and the voting booths. And if Mr. Trump is suggesting that there is a conspiracy theory that is being propagated across the country, including in places like Texas, where typically it's not Democrats who are in charge of voting booths. That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. And I don't think anybody would take that seriously.
Yeah, why would you take that seriously? That's just stupid. That's just dumb. Because while you were saying that, you were actively running the scorecard system against Donald Trump. That's right, I said it. In the 2016 election against Hillary Clinton, they activated the scorecard system, only it didn't work. For some reason, there was a software glitch and it failed. And you people came up, showed up, and voted in mass and gave us Donald J. Trump for 4 years. That's right. You messed up their plan. See, Hillary Clinton didn't go out and campaign. Do you remember that? She wasn't out campaigning. I don't need to campaign. This thing's in the bag. Because it was in the bag. Only it didn't work that time. So why is it Joe Biden didn't go out and campaign besides he should be in a nursing home? Because it was in the bag. They figured out the software problem. They went out. Now, mind you, they activated scorecard in the election against Trump. In Michigan, one of the local precinct operators, like one of the great ones we have here in Pettis County, we have Nick Lestrada, an honest, good person who really knows what the hell they're doing. She looked and she said, wait a second here, this isn't right. So she went and counted, and she found out on her own. She just said, we're going to take a look at this because this ain't right. It was a heavily Republican district. So she went and counted, and she found that 6,000 votes in her district switched. They were voted for Trump, but they were counted for Biden. That's 6,000 less for Trump and 6,000 more for Biden. That's a 12,000 point turnaround. There are 47 counties in Michigan that use this same software program, has been corrupted by the scorecard system. You put 6,000 times 47, and you've got a whole new ball game in the election. And this, mind you, this software program is used in Michigan, Wisconsin, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, California. Are you catching on to what I'm putting down? Barack Obama, James Clapper, John Brennan, Robert Mueller, for the last 4 years have done everything they could to destroy this president. They impeached him. They put him on trial. They tried to prosecute him. They tried to come up with phony dossiers. They created stuff out of whole cloth. They had Schiff and Pelosi on TV every other day saying, we got the goods, we got the goods. They had unnamed sources in their parroting media going, we got him now, we got him now. They got Rachel Maddow all giddy, getting all excited. And it was for nothing. Obama, Bremen, Clapper, and Mueller are all completely 100 complicit and involved in this scheme to steal this election. They have committed treason to the United States of America. But that's not all. You see, because what happened? What happened is that America rose up and said, hell no, we don't want socialism. We don't want Kamala Harris to be president, because we know Joe Biden ain't going to make it. And they overwhelmed the scorecard system. It wasn't going to be enough. And they couldn't upgrade the software to give them more. It was preset how many they were going to switch. They were using the numbers of 2016 to estimate what they needed to switch this election, to make it close, to make it seem real. But it wasn't going to be enough, because we showed up. Us guys with the Trump flags in the back of our trucks and our cowboy hats and our mega hats, we showed up in drove, in mass. How do I know? Take a look at Florida, where they didn't have those machines and they didn't have that system. And in Broward County, Florida, Donald Trump tripled what he did last time around. Broward County, Florida is where the hanging chads were against Gore versus Bush. And this was a trend that was following suit in every major Democratic stronghold across the United States of America, until in the wee dark morning hours, they stopped counting the vote. You see, their software program was affected to take effect inside of the Republican stronghold area so that it wouldn't be detected, because everybody's going to be upset about the Democrat. They know it's corrupt in Philadelphia. They know that every dead person that died in the last 250 years in Philadelphia votes. They know that. So they did it in the other districts. They did it in districts like Pettis County that voted 90% for Trump. So if they just voted 85% for Trump, what difference would it make, right? Except that you add all those numbers together to give you the state. And they were counting on that to work. Just a small margin. Just enough. The problem with that is it wasn't enough. And they realized when it got up there to 87, 90% of the vote, they froze it in all of these battleground cities or states across this country. They knew it wasn't going to be enough. They knew they were about to get creamed by the Trump machine. So what'd they do? They paused the vote in order to create enough time and to chase out the ballot watchers to steal this election the old-fashioned way. That's right. By creating 138,000 votes in Pennsylvania, where the only person they voted for was Joe Biden, nothing down ticket. By making sure all the dead people got out and voted. By just creating votes out of whole cloth, whatever they had to do, destroying Republican votes. This is in Democratic. This is in the Philadelphia area. Then they got their sycophants in the media, the ones that repeated everything about Mr. Montgomery, the ones that repeated, the ones that said gravitas, 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 gravitas. The ones that repeated, I've got unnamed sources. We've got unnamed sources. Unnamed sources says that they're going to have Trump. They're going to perp walk me with handcuffs. Unnamed sources, unnamed sources, unnamed sources, unnamed sources. Those guys, the ones that are bought and paid for, or maybe they're the ones that Maybe they're the ones that Hammer has information on. Maybe Hammer got that email of you talking to your mistress. Kind of like Justice Roberts. In that article, it specifically mentions he was targeted by Hammer. Just saying. Maybe all these news media people really don't believe what they're spouting, but they have to spout it because, well, you know, they don't want to come out what Obama, Bremen, Clapper, and Mueller know because they have the Hammer system. But let me tell you, and I know this was a long video, but bear with me. Let me tell you one more thing that I want you to understand. I know all this because Donald J. Trump knows all this. Donald J. Trump has known all this. We've been wondering why. What's with the investigations? Why hasn't Mueller or not Mueller? Why hasn't Barr and them done something? How come these people aren't going to jail? We want blood. These people have been treasonous to the United States of America. We know it. Every one of us know it's true. And we just want somebody to go to jail. Why ain't Trump doing it? We're about to find out this week. The storm is here. We are in the midst of it. You'll hear they're filing lawsuits today. There's a whole bunch that's getting ready to happen. How important was it to get that Supreme Court justice nominated and placed? How important was that? This is going to go before the Supreme Court. And let me remind you, I know some of y'all think I'm a crackpot and don't believe this stuff. But every major prophet, from the 700 Club to Kim Clement to Mark Taylor to some of the other ones that I've been following, every major prophet of God on this planet today, every one of them. I talked to a lady at church who is, I consider, a very spiritual person that grew up with a similar background as me. Very smart, sweet lady. And I asked her about it. She says, everybody I'm watching says the same thing. Everybody I pay attention. And she just started naming names I ain't never heard of. That's right, Cecilia, 2 terms. That's what they all say, 2 terms. But they say there's a storm coming. And this is the storm right now. We are in it. Prepare. The media is going to say some stuff today, and you're not going to like it. Have faith. God's about to explode this thing. When this is said and done, let me tell you what's going to happen. Everything's coming out. Everything is coming out. Everything. They are going to talk about the 30,000 emails. They are going to talk about Benghazi. They are going to talk about some of the important thing that's going on. Everything is coming out through this. It will be an explosion of information. And people in high places, powerful people, will take the easy way out. And I'll leave it at that. I just want you to understand that we need to have faith in the storm. Because this is an appointed moment by God, and people will talk about this for the next 1,000 years. What's about to happen is going to clean house. The media will never, ever be the same. Social media will never, ever be the same. Sports will never be the same. Hollywood will never be the same. And politics is going to be decimated. Hear me. Hear me. A third party will arise when a new Snowden comes. I introduced to you today Daniel Montgomery. You don't believe any of this? Go search it for yourself. Search Daniel Montgomery, search Hammer, search a scorecard. See what you come up with. With that, you guys have a great day. Enjoy it. Get your popcorn out. It's going to be a wild ride. And I'm excited to see what God brings forth. Have a great day.